Can you really afford to be clueless about your customer service? You know, it is an incredible world. Customers' expectations have changed. Why? Because your customers can buy everything and any time of the day or night from anywhere of part of the world. And what will make you different from your competition is the service you deliver. So we're here today to continue the secret diaries of a mystery shopper. Maybe no mystery shoppers. Today, we haven't got a mystery shopper. We've got Olga. Olga all the way from Gran Canaria. Hello, Olga. How are you?
Hello, Claire. How are you? I'm doing great. Well, it's so beautiful here that I could not do any better.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, so we know each other through Speaker Association, but you also tell us a little bit about you, because the first thing you said to me when I met you, you said you make people cry. And I thought, well, that's a good way to introduce yourself.
Yes, it makes people think. It makes people think.
It does, doesn't it?
It does, yes. Well, because basically what I do is literally I make people cry twice at least.
Oh, wow.
First time I made them cry when they come to my office pre-COVID-19 times. Now it's when they jump with me on the Zoom call for the first time and they tell me about their story, how unhappy they are, how unfulfilled they are, how they succeeded, the great career and build a business, and yet they're lonely, yet they haven't got passion in life, and yet they don't feel that they have a purpose in life. So basically what I do, I help them to fix their mindset, to transform their mindset. And as a result, usually people cry again at the very end, at least few times, probably in between, right? But at least at the very end as well, when they actually tell me that how grateful they are for me to transform their lives and how they would never be the way they are, the way they perform, the way they have their relationships, the way how free and liberated and truly authentic themselves they feel after working with me. So, and I must say there were a good few times when I cried with them as well. So probably I should add it as well. We both cry.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's really an emotional thing that you connecting with people, and we all are emotional blurbs, really, walking around. Really, everything drives from emotions, isn't it? And so I think you've got a story for us. And so is it a good story or is it not a great story that you want to tell us today?
Well, the way how our mind works, we always remember better negative.
Right.
So we will start with the negative, and there's a reason. Of course, as you said, we are emotional blurbs and we remember things emotionally. That's why negative stories, and in your case, you do customer experience thing, negative experience will be always remembered for longer than a positive one. And if you think about it, for every negative thing, we need 3 positives to replace. This is how I work with my clients. Every time they come up with something negative, like negative belief, I will say, now we have to come up with 3 positive stories about that because that's exactly how our mindset works. So we will start with a negative story, and then we'll probably have to come up with 3 positive ones to replace the one.
I'm sure we'll find some benefits or some ticks, some positive out of this. Okay, let's do this.
Absolutely.
Then.
Absolutely, yes. So the one negative experience which I remember I experienced personally myself as a customer was when I was driving on a motorway actually, and I received a phone call. It was on the Bluetooth. I was safe, but that's how much you remember, right? Because it was so strong experience.
Yes, so
And yeah, absolutely. And I answered the call, Olga speaking, and there was somebody, I think his name was, let's not mention names actually, let's not mention names to protect the identity
companies,
and
no nothing.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But there was a gentleman, and he said, I'm calling from so-and-so company, my name is so-and-so, and he was selling something to do with plastic, these PVC doors and windows. Right. And I was like, I'm renting the house, so really for me, it's not even that important. Thank you very much for your call. That's all right. Yeah. She was like, no, but let's have a conversation because, even though it's not your house, maybe you could convince your landlord. I was like, look, it's definitely not something what I want. It's not something what I'm seeking and I'm not really interested to have a discussion with my landlord because honestly, I'm not going to live there for a long time. So no thanks. He still persisted.
Wow.
And I used to work as telecommunication, specialist as well. So I used to make these cold calls. So I know you still have to always kind of keep customer on the call. But if they're interested, like if there's no, I mean, there's a time and a place for everything. And I said, look, I think I was very straightforward and I was very polite and nice. Could we please finish the conversation here? Because I'm actually driving. So I would appreciate if we could stop here. He carried on and I said, no, because that was the fourth time. Right? I was like, that's a no. I'm like, how many more times? I can be polite, but how many more times I should tell you the same thing?
No.
And I said, no. And that was like, no, thanks. Like after this, I don't know what else you want from me, right? And I'm on the Bluetooth. So, and back then I wasn't driving the car where you have the button on your steering wheel. So I had to, find my phone. And I was like, I'm not doing this, I'm driving. But obviously I could answer by saying, answer the call. So anyways, and what happened next blew my mind. I was like, did I really hear that? So next thing, I'm not sure if I can say that, but next thing, I will say the beginning of the word. Next thing he said, okay, then F off.
No.
And he slammed the phone down. I kid you not. I kid you not.
Oh,
so my reaction was like, did you really did that?
Did you just say that? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Your mind must have been going wild.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, totally. And because I was blown away.
And so when I think also your thinking goes like that, and what happens to your body when things have something like that so strong happens, your emotion goes, and then your behavior changes as well, doesn't it? Because it all kind of goes together. So suddenly you must have had starting having palpitations and all sorts.
Yeah, because instantly what do we experience? We experience that this is, this is towards me personally, right? We don't think, maybe I was 110th client today saying no to him. We're not thinking maybe he has issues at home. We're not thinking, maybe he has no money and his work, will bring him this potential income. And that's why he's trying so bad. We don't know what exactly drives him to really push what he sells. All what I knew at that time, that was me who heard that. And that was me feeling that he meant it at me, not because something happened to him, but he meant it at me. So normally what happens after this, you would naturally become angry. You would naturally become very, emotional, and you would naturally come back home and you will just unleash that all on your boyfriend, your husband, your child, and everybody else. Luckily, I do what I do. And I was in the car, exactly. And also, luckily, I do what I do. And I was like, okay, let's just take yourself on a coaching journey. Exactly happened here. Hold on, we can handle this. Yeah, exactly. So luckily for me, I was able to handle the situation. I was able to handle myself, and I was able to just simply understand, look, you're not the only one who he called. You're not the only one who said no to him. Obviously, after God knows how many no's, everybody would get frustrated. I don't know what the previous potential customer respond to him either, right? Maybe the previous one actually said these words to him. That's why he says it to me. But how many people will do that work? Come on.
And this, I think this comes to the part of actually, you need to be a certain person to be able to do this job. And whatever you're selling, generally sell what is right for the customers. And this is typical of, those companies who gives bad reputation to everybody else around, because they are pushing it so much, until you sign your life away. And this is not general service. It's not general selling, because you're not doing it for the right reason for your customers.
Nope. Exactly. And you don't know how much you affect your customer lives after that, how much you affect people around your customer in that case. So to think about, how you should behave on the phone is really, really important. And I must say, this story was already told so many times. Just
Right.
like an example, a bad example.
Yeah. And that's
Not to
that's
do.
kind of the next thing as well is, the moment of the story that happens, but then what happens next, you could have rang his boss, you could have gone on social media, you could have, but you've told your story to 100 people. And I think, back in my days when I started 10 years ago, I was telling, one bad customer stories will tell 12 people. Now they tell 12,000 people in
Of
seconds,
course.
right?
Yep.
In seconds. And word of mouth is crucial for businesses. And
Totally.
oh my gosh, this
Totally.
was
Yeah.
just a really bad story,
I
Olga.
know. I know.
I feel for you. I feel like if I was answering that call myself.
I know. I was really shocked. I'm just very, very grateful that I do what I do, and I was able to really comprehend it and understand it, and see potential reasons why he was doing it, and understand that it was not, addressed to me. Because let's imagine right now there's maybe, a woman who just suffered from domestic violence and she's driving a car.
Yeah, I mean, she could have an accident or something, because that could have
Absolutely.
brought up some real fear and some real, terror about, what could happen. And I think just words are so strong, and again, what you think affect what you feel and affect how you behave. So those kind of attitude are really not to be done. Maybe you need to tell me discreetly their name, and then I can contact their company to do a bit of training.
That would be a good idea, actually. That would be a really good idea. But what's interesting, when I called them back,
You called them back. You did call back.
I called them back.
Wow.
I called them back and I said, look, I was having a conversation with such and such gentleman at this particular time, because obviously time was on my phone. And I said, I would like to speak to him again. And they were like, what's the problem? Yeah, we can connect you. And I explained the situation. And they were like, sorry, we can't connect you. I was like, all of a sudden, you can't connect me. Why is that? They were like, well, we don't do that. I said, well, do you realize how much harm it could potentially, create to me, and what exactly, could be happening after that? They put the phone down.
Well, I think they certainly need a bit of a yes, they need a bit of a yes. I think there's bigger issues, and that's probably not just the one person, but there's probably a company culture thing there. Okay, so 3 things that I've just come back to. 1, no means no. Please just listen to what your customers are saying, right? Number 2, generally do what's right by your customers. This is how you build relationship. This is what, do what's right. Even if they don't buy now, they'll come back to you later. They'll recommend you later. Those are the kind of things that you really want to continue doing. And number 3, never, ever, ever, ever swear at your customers or tell them to F off. And I think we're going to finish on that word. So if you want to hear more stories, just go and check out some of the other stories that I believe underneath, and subscribe to the channel. And Olga, I will also put the name of your website. Where can they find you? Do you have just a normal Olga website?
Yes, it is olgageidane.com. I will not say www because we're far beyond that.
Brilliant. So I will put the name, and if you feel like you need a little bit of support, mental support, emotional support, please connect with Olga. She's just amazing, and I'm sure she'll be able to make you cry twice, at least twice.
At least.
Thank you so much, Olga. I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you, Claire.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye-bye.